let's talk about mermaidcore. What's this mermaidcore aesthetic, and where did it come from? This aesthetic is fairly recent, and my guess is that the latest live-action adaptation of the Little Mermaid movie is what sparked the attention of the fashion world to fully dip their toes into the untapped realm of mermaidcore. Current fashion trends are already pointing towards the 2000s and 2010s fashion, and what was my generation obsessed with at the time? You got it, dolphins and mermaids. I know at least 10 girls from my middle school who watched H2O and had those dolphin lamps, dolphin t-shirts, dolphin posters, you name it, anything dolphin themed, and aquatic color palettes. It's almost like we're getting sick of Jane Austen-like cottagecore dresses and we want to add some sparkles and some pearls to it, thus resulting in the rise of mermaidcore. I mean, I read Jane Austen's Persuasion recently, and then I saw the movie trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty horrendous. Instead of talking to the camera all day with my makeshift microphone, let us get into the discussion of mermaidcore. Little disclaimer here, because there's next to no information on mermaidcore out there, I'm pulling a lot of my inspiration from visual Pinterest mood boards, runway fashion outfits, and articles I've seen floating around. You can find links to all of my sources in the description box. So, what is mermaidcore? Mermaidcore is an aesthetic surrounding the theme of mermaids and other aquatic mythological beings. It fully embraces aquatic elements such as deep sea creatures, pearls, seashells, and beaches. Instead of dressing us in literal fishtails, mermaidcore pulls these aquatic themes into outfits via accessories, textures, colors, and pattern choices. I think it makes sense that we're having a shift in the soft aesthetics. A lot of energy and time has been invested into cottagecore, angelcore, and royalcore, and with spring coming, it makes sense that we shift into a fresh aquatic aesthetic. We've already seen the midi and maxi skirts coming back into style, so adding a little mermaid cut or frill trim to them is only natural. I think the good thing about this aesthetic is that because it's still so fresh, there is lots of room for creativity. Additionally, mermaidcore has a couple related aesthetics, such as sirencore, fairycore, and angelcore, which could be mixed with mermaidcore for some interesting results. I have more details about that in another video. Mermaidcore's inspiration and color palette is heavily based on ocean themes and light colors. The color palette consists mostly of different shades of blue, pink, purple, and green, as well as pearl white and other such colors. Even iridescent colors replicating the colors of scales are welcome. Inspiration could be taken from The Little Mermaid, the H2O series, and of course, Mother Nature itself. Honestly, even Greek goddesses and other aquatic folklore could be used as inspiration. The Finnish Kalevala folklore goddess 𝚒𝚒𝚘𝚔 and Aphrodite are wonderful examples. Mermaidcore's fashion is heavily inspired by these themes, using textures and materials such as sequins, silk, pearls, crochet, mesh, chiffon, and lace in outfits. Accessories such as seashells and starfish can be added in the forms of fabric pattern, bags, hairpins, and necklaces. So, what does this actually look like in a wardrobe? I'm going to experiment on the elements of this style with items I already have in my closet, so let's have a look at how we can incorporate mermaidcore into our wardrobes. For tops, anything frilly and draping no matter the length is ideal. Subtle floral or pearl decor is also fine. Light, sheer, and airy fabrics such as crochet tops, halter tops, or sheer blouses are great, but you can also of course lean more into the literal elements such as shell bras and corset tops. An example on how to layer these pieces would be something like a sheer baby doll top combined with a skirt, preferably longer and flowier than my example here. If an outfit like this feels too revealing, you could also add another sheer or solid layer on top, like this blue blouse I have. Another form of tops are semi-sheer or shiny fabrics, such as silk teddy bodysuits like this one I thrifted. It's a great choice if you want to play a little more with your accessories or mix mermaidcore with something else like balletcore. For beachwear, you could layer your bikini top with sheer or crochet tops like I do in this example. As for darker outfits, taking inspiration from sirencore, you could also go for darker colors. The sparkly sheer top is perfect to layer on all kinds of outfits, and just adds a bit of that effortless shine to an otherwise simple outfit. I definitely recommend getting versatile pieces so you can get maximum use out of them. I think in the end, it's all about your comfort level and what feels good to you. For some more masculine and neutral options, you could choose to go with a button-up or blouse, such as this white one with pearl buttons or the shiny one in an aquatic color. You could choose to wear these fitted or more oversized. And if they have buttons, partially unbuttoned is a good look to help show off more jewelry. For my hijab wearing friends, I recommend using blue, pink, or beige hijabs, and maybe decorating them with some thematically accurate hairpins if you'd like. For bottoms, midi and maxi skirts are in, and I recommend taking advantage of the power of contrasting your outfits by using baggier or wider bottoms with your smaller dainty tops. If long skirts aren't your thing, you can work around them with silky, frilly, and light mini skirts like me. Or go for pants or frilly shorts instead. Skirts could have a ruffle hem, bows and mesh layers, lace trims, high slits, and be in mermaid or fishtail cuts. For your bottoms, I suggest using materials that complement your tops, whether that's in more casual forms like cargo pants, or matching thematically like drawstring pants. For dresses, anything silky, full of frills, sequins, pearls, and sheer layers is perfect. I believe dresses are the pieces you can really experiment with, because there are so many textures to choose from, and as long as the dress retains some of the core elements of mermaidcore, it'll work. In my case, I have a soft spot for satin dresses with pearl or lace detailing. I think these are very elegant and versatile options to play with. Accessorizing a non-aesthetic specific dress with pearls, interesting tights, socks, shoes, and bags is a great way to make it appear more mermaidcore. Adding sheer or crochet layers also adds some variety to the outfits. I think the addition of well-thought accessories is a great way to recycle a dress into something more unique and mesmerizing. You could also choose a dress that looks more like it belongs to another aesthetic, such as this pink princess core looking dress. By adding some new textures and accessories, I made it look a bit more mermaidcore-like. Of course, the easiest choice is to go with the original color palette like this green shiny dress, which works both in texture and color. If you don't really like frills in your clothes, you could try working with fishnet stockings and socks, or adding ribbons and bows to your outfits to make them look more romantic. For accessories, I strongly recommend experimenting with different pearl accessories and jewelry, and maybe using claw clips, dainty bows, or even chiffon scrunchies to add a little something to your hair. Bags are also fun to experiment with, especially when they come in aquatic textures or shapes. For those of you not wanting to go all in, or maybe simply taking slight inspiration from something like ⚒ you could try a more neutral color like this brown slip dress. You could choose to accessorize lightly with dainty details, and maybe shift your energy into the makeup. Speaking of makeup, for mermaidcore, it all depends on how much you're willing to invest in it. For eyes, you could wear some sparkly eyeshadow within the color palette, or perhaps get a little bit more experimental with decorative pearl accents or colored eyeliner. Your lips should look soft and moisturized, so using lip balms, lip gloss, and nude or light pink or red lipstick works best. The overall appearance should look soft and ethereal. Your skin should look dewy and glossy, so I recommend using a setting spray or highlighter with some shimmer in it. It's up to you how much you choose to invest in makeup in the end, but I do think it's a wonderful way to add some extra aquatic elements into your look. For hair, wet look hair, waves, braids, and a low messy bun are all great options, some of many more you could try. Your hair doesn't need to look perfect or combed, as this is an aesthetic tied to nature and mythology after all. One could say I've been waiting for this aesthetic to become popular since a year ago, so I'm glad the time has finally come. So, would you give mermaidcore a chance? Do you think my outfits are potentially odd or alluring? Let me know in the comments, and as usual, I'll see you next time.